If you bring an elephant to an airplane, the first thing he will do is marvel at the size of the plane. He will flap his ears in excitement, thinking it's a giant, shiny bird just for him. He will start to investigate the plane by gently tapping the plane with his trunk. When you finally convince him to step inside, he will pause at the door, peering down the aisle with wide eyes. The rows of seats will look much too small for him. He will try to squeeze down the aisle, trunk swaying and tail flapping all the time. You'll gently nudge him forward, and he will eventually settle into the largest seat he can find, probably first class. Once seated, the elephant will discover the tiny window beside him. He will press his trunk and face up against it, fogging up the glass as he tries to catch a glimpse of the runway outside. He will trumpet in delight at the sight of other planes zooming by, assuming they are his new flying friends. As the flight attendants come by with snacks, the elephant will perk up his ears. His enormous trunk will sniff around, exploring the snack cart. He will be curious about everything: pretzels, peanuts, juice boxes. But his real interest will be in the peanuts. You will have to remind him that peanuts are not the main meal on airplanes, but he will keep asking for just one more, with his big, hopeful eyes. Once the plane takes off, the elephant will feel the rumble of the engines beneath him. His ears will flap with excitement, and he will trumpet loudly, startling the other passengers. You'll explain to him that planes are supposed to be quiet spaces, but he will only respond with a proud smile, as if to say, "I am just celebrating." Soon, the elephant will notice the in-flight entertainment screen in front of him. He will try to use his trunk to press the buttons, but his giant, clumsy attempts will cause the screen to flicker between channels. After some help, he will settle on a nature documentary about, what else, elephants. Midway through the flight, the elephant will decide it's time to stretch his legs. He will stand up, causing quite a bit of commotion as he navigates the very tight space. He might even take a stroll down the aisle, much to the surprise of the other passengers. As the flight nears its end, the elephant will start to grow tired. He will curl his trunk around a pillow, rest his giant head on the armrest, and start to doze off in his seat. His soft snores will fill the cabin, and his big ears will twitch with every dream. When the plane finally lands, the elephant will wake up with a big, sleepy yawn. As you gather your belongings and help him off the plane, he will insist on one thing: a souvenir from the trip. Perhaps a little airplane keychain or a pilot's hat, just to remind him of his first flight. And chances are, if you ever bring an elephant to an airplane again, he will ask for more peanuts. Another look out the window, and definitely a seat in first class. But remember, flying with an elephant is never just an ordinary flight.